Hi, Xavier fans. Colin Waters here with men's soccer head coach Andy Fleming to talk about the 2012 season. And Andy, let's jump right into it. 14 victories for you, a program best. Talk about the year as a whole.
A couple things come to mind. I think to lose just 3 times in 22 games says a lot. The 3 losses were to Indiana, to St. Louis, and Virginia Commonwealth. All 3 teams were seeded, top 16 seeds in the NCAA Tournament. So one of the keys we talked about going into the year was winning the games we're supposed to win, and then also maybe surprising a couple things, but basically being consistent and doing what we're supposed to and doing what we're capable of. Having said that, I thought certain times, the St. Louis game, the Virginia game, the Northwestern game, and for stretches where we really had a bullseye on our back during the 13-game unbeaten streak, probably exceeded expectations and did more than we had to and really went outside of our comfort zone. But overall, the consistency, the mental consistency, not getting too high or too low, not really reading the papers or the headlines. I was real happy with the mentality as far as the guys being professional and businesslike and really just carrying the flag from start to finish. You know, we really didn't dip too low. We had a bit of a lull in the probably 70% through the season, but our lows were pretty high and our highs were pretty exciting.
Talk about the key individuals, some of the people that really kind of stood out this year. Obviously, Luke Spencer with 14 goals to lead the conference, and also Matt Walker also had 11 goals as well.
If you go back to my first year, we scored 21 goals, and then this year we scored 49. That's something I thought we'd score more goals, but to score 49, to be ranked in the top 10 nationally in 3 offensive statistics categories, something I did not imagine or envision. I'm happy for Luke because I really think he hit his stride and did what he was capable of and had a great senior year, and I thought every great team has that go-to guy that can score a big goal. Him scoring in the Northwestern game, the first game, and then scoring in the second and third game, Wright State and Cincinnati, really gave him some momentum and some confidence. And early on, he carried us. And then later on in the year, when teams game planned us for us a little bit more, we started to score in restarts and had guys come out of the woodwork and score goals. And then obviously Matt Walker's a great story, going from 3 goals to 11. Then you had Gino and Will with 6 each, and even a guy like Andrew Jordan, who redshirted last year, had three goals off the bench, was quite a story. But the offensive octane we had really compensated for what I consider to be a little bit of an off defensive year for us. But our defense still was our offense, and we really could put teams away. In the past, we'd win 1-0 or 2-1. This year, we scored a 3rd goal. We scored a 2nd goal easier, and in some instances, a 4th, 5th, and 6th goal. And I thought really that was a sign of a maturity where we were able to really separate ourselves.
One of the things that we've talked about through your first 3 years here is the senior class, the 5 who have graduated, well, 6 if you include Adar, that really kind of helped right the ship for this program. Talk about their influence and all the other classes that have kind of came since then.
A couple things that come to mind with that is first you have a 5th-year senior in Sean Ryan. This was the 3rd year in a row we've had a 5th-year senior, and I always say that that means you have depth because guys are redshirting a year and they're taking the time to develop players. But more importantly, I think it says that you have guys that want to be around and do an extra year. Some programs, by the time people are done with senior year, the coach is ready to part ways with the players and the players have had enough. So that always says something with Sean having been back. 3 out of the 4 back 4 were seniors. The goalkeeper was a senior, backup goalkeeper was a senior, and then obviously Luke up top was a senior. So the core of our defensive, spine, if you will, really I call the back 4 the offensive line. Really, the group that held us together has been together for 3 years and started probably close to 60 straight games together regular season. That says a lot about them. They're going to be missed. But the thing that really I tell people all the time and can hang my hat on is these guys went 2-13-1 as freshmen. They had an opportunity to flee or flight. Instead, they stayed and fought. And really, the true catalysts and the true builders of the program and the true first great class to go through here and go 3 out of 4 and really left a legacy and really a responsibility that the younger guys feel like they have to maintain.
Yeah, they really did help kind of turn that corner for you guys, and in a year that had a lot of growth in the program because you get your first at-large bid, you're ranked in the top 10 for the first time. How did that program grow, or how is it growing after the success of this year?
What's interesting is people ask me all the time, other coaches had a couple publications call and talk about the story and the growth and how it happened. And really this year was not that different than the other years, and really there's 3 or 4 main competencies that allowed us to do so. There's not 25 dimensions of what we've done, and really what it is having good guys, believing in the system, pride in the process, really preparation and great team spirit. Our recruiting has been able to elevate a little bit. We had 3 All-Americans in this year's freshman class, but to me that doesn't mean a lot. To me, I still think we brought in Xavier guys. We have great people, great parents, and guys that accepted their role and really played together. And if you look at the fewest yellow cards in the country, once again, second most assists. We lost out that late. And then obviously the team GPA that we have great students who are unselfish and disciplined, and I think those people and what they do off the field and the process really allow us to grow. To have the consistency we've had, to have the success we had, again, it has helped in our brand association, so to speak. It's helped in, as far as people knowing about us around town and nationally. But I don't think the feeling in the locker room, the pulse of our team, the personality of our team are really, when you come out on any given day to watch us train, I don't think much has changed. And that's what I'm most proud of, is I don't think anything really changed to how we think or how we do things. We remain true to our original recipe, as they say.
A lot of high points throughout the season. The NCAA Tournament, obviously, finally getting a victory against Kentucky. I was in the locker room after the game, and the excitement and the smile and kind of the joy was something that I think that was long overdue for a lot of these guys. Was that the biggest high point for the season?
I think so, and again, I don't want to discount what we've done, because it was a wonderful season, and not until you and I sat down and put some bullet points together the other day did you really realize what we had done. We lack that run on the field, holding up a trophy, winning a championship, winning a title moment, that signature moment. But I think the Kentucky moment, even though it was a win and we kind of walked out in the field after, that had that championship feel to it. It was part of the next step of the natural progression of the program, is to not so much prove to the country we can win in the NCAA tournament, to prove to ourselves and to really feel like we moved up another, got to another frontier, so to speak. And above all, I think for myself and the guys, it just removed a big weight off of our shoulder and said, okay, that one's out of the way. Now we can go from here. And the funny thing about the Kentucky game is we went in and were very composed, very professional, played very well, very much in command. And I felt that Kentucky was happy to be there or hadn't been there before. And finally, our pedigree and our experience in the NCAA tournament and our panache, so to speak, helped us. And there was a difference in the two teams as far as having been there before.
A lot's leaving this year. Obviously, Luke is your starting forward. You've got a couple of people in your back line. You're starting goalkeeper. You're going to have to kind of redo a couple of things and kind of reshape the lineup, maybe the mindset of some of these guys a little bit. That'll be a new adventure for you, I guess, as a coach.
Yeah, I hope it's an adventure, because some days it's a scary thing. But you think about, as a coach, you always have a lineup a year ahead, 2 years ahead currently, and you go through that different parts of the week, whether it be for recruiting or preparation purposes. And there's always been Justin Marshall in goal. There's always been Sean on the left, Adar on the right, James in the middle, Luke up top. And now those guys are all gone. And I think it's particularly exciting for our returning guys, because they're used to walking out every day and seeing them there. And I'm sure there was some assumption after some time that those guys would be playing, would be starting, and now they're not. So we are not going to reload. We don't just plug 4 guys in. We reinvent. We have to reinvent the hierarchy of our team, who we play and how we play. That's certainly something we're going to work on this spring. What's interesting is we normally give the guys from the end of the season through finals off, and then this year the guys decided on their own to do 5 days a week right through finals with no coaches, captains only. And then we implemented a running and fitness program during break that the guys are going through right now. And the guys have embraced it. And I think for 2 reasons. The guys know that there's a lot missing, and we have some open opportunities, so to speak, some open doors. But I also think they feel a sense of responsibility. I don't think they feel pressure, but I think they feel a sense of responsibility now that they have to keep this going. They feel obligated that this is where they're supposed to be. And I don't think it's a heavy obligation. I think it's one they take with pride and they take with great confidence. But they know that a lot needs to be done. And, to do what you've never done before, you must do what you haven't done previously. So that's why our off-season looks the way it does. And we had our best season ever, and now one of our goals for the off-season to have our best off-season ever.
And that really starts, really in earnest coming back from
right now, hopefully.
Yeah.
As we speak.
What does it look like for the spring for you guys? Obviously, it's a chance for you to gauge where the growth has been and some areas that need to improve on.
I enjoy the spring. I think the fall is there's a gun to your head. It's a marathon. It's a fast marathon, and you're really preparing for the opponent and making sure you're getting results. The spring is more about individual improvement, working with guys, trying some different lineups, moving some guys around. And as daunting it might seem at times, I think it's pretty cool because we aren't really sure who A, B, C, D, and E are. And there are some guys who've been waiting their turn, paid their dues, and much like you see with the basketball program this year, I think guys are going to step on and really surprise and embrace the opportunity. Our schedule, we will play Akron, we will play Louisville, we will play Indiana, we'll play Notre Dame, we'll play Bowling Green. So I think we're going to measure ourselves against the best. We're going to find out some stuff. I expect there to be some growing pains. I expect there to be some moments where we have to say, wow, we have to do A, B, and C. But I certainly don't want any false sense of security going into the spring. But I believe in our guys. We're going to have a transfer in and then, maybe add a guy late. We have 6 committed guys for next year. But I'm confident and assume and expect the majority of the guys who are going to fill in and keep this going are the guys we have in the program. And I always believe from promoting from within, I think you're going to see that. But it will be a different team, and the last couple off seasons has been we have everyone back. Let's just kind of keep it moving along, where now it's kind of like we have a bunch of clay on the desk here. We have to reshape the clay, and there's some new pieces of clay. And for a coach, that's exciting, and I think it's going to be a good challenge for me, and I think the guys are excited for it.
One of the things that you went out and tried to do this year was set a really hard non-conference schedule. You really can't control how the conference season plays out, but it looks like in the fall coming up that you guys will have a pretty difficult schedule ahead.
Yeah, once again, I think it's part of the natural progression here. What's exciting to me and really caught my attention was I give the players a questionnaire halfway through the season, how are things going, what could improve, blah, blah, blah. I do the same thing at the end of the season. And a couple of them said, we play our best games against the good teams. We should play better teams. And that's when it really occurred to me that, maybe we need to even turn the dial up a little bit more. Don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but I certainly think we've, not earned the right, but grown to the point now where we probably can feel confident competing against these teams. I sat down the other day and did an analysis of the last couple seasons, and if you include spring games, exhibition games, and fall games, we've lost just 10 times in our last 60 games. So having said that, we've gone out and played pretty good teams, and we've done well against just about all of them. And we're going to continue to do that into the fall. Some new opponents, some different twists, some out-of-region games. We'll have College of Charleston down there, Furman down there. Have Kentucky at home, renewing that rivalry. Northwestern will come here as well. Obviously, we have the Cincinnati game. We have Missouri State. We have Pitt, which is a new team, an ACC team, and obviously Bradley, which is a perennial NCAA Tournament team from the Missouri Valley. So nice variety of conferences representative, nice variety of, geographic, getting out and bringing the guys to different parts of the country. And I don't think any of those opponents are daunting. I think they're all winnable games. I certainly think it's very challenging. But again, if you do well, win more than you lose, so to speak, this puts us in a good position come tournament time. And having the at-large bid happen this year was really a great growth moment for the program and opened my eyes seeing 4 teams from the Atlantic 10 get in that we don't have to win the Atlantic 10 to get in. There's other avenues in. And I think the guys are up for it, and I want to thank the guys because the reason we're doing this is really not because of me, but because they believe they can do it and they wanted to do it.
Looking at next year and what you'll have coming back, you have the Walker twins, Gino, and your All-American in the back, Nick Haglund, along with some other scattered pieces. But it's really those 4 that are really going to kind of be the heart of the team next year.
Yeah, and you take Matt Walker and Nick and Gino, but you add guys like Andy Kaplan and Jack McDermott. That senior class, I think, is a special class. It's a great personality of the class, a great will, a great belief to the class. And a big reason we're doing with the schedule is because I believe in that senior class, whether it be the guys that start and play all the time, the guys that come off the bench, the program guys, so to speak. There's a little bit of everything in that class, and I certainly think they're going to be the catalyst. I always talk about at this time of the year that the freshmen, I call them the sophomores now. The sophomores, I call them the juniors, I call them the seniors, because in essence, that's what they are. So I think our team personality will be really interesting and be really neat. I think you'll see more little contributing pieces and guys coming off the bench and guys rotating the positions. I think we'll have more of a spirit to our team. I think we'll play, a little more up-tempo. And, again, we're losing Luke, 14 goals, but if you really look at it mathematically, we still return close to 30 goals. That's a good problem to have. I think guys like Neil Henley and Andrew Jordan Rhodes Moore certainly will assert themselves and have great sophomore years. And we have a bunch of other guys, particularly in the back and in goal, that I think it's going to be a very competitive spring. And guys, like I had indicated earlier, who have paid their dues are certainly capable and ready to go. And you look at guys like Gino, Matt Walker, and Will Walker, who really had a great sophomore year. Garrett Halfhill, who had a tremendous sophomore year. Tanner Patrick, who's been around the block. And then obviously Nick Haglin, who's a second-team All-American. There's enough there. The core is there, and then filling in the peripheral guys is the challenge and the next obstacle. But I don't really look at it as a challenge or an obstacle because I think the cupboard is not bare by any means.
No, Andy, it's always great, and the way that you guys have done it, there's a lot of people that really kind of help out, and it really does seem like a whole family thing.
And at the banquet every year, I put a little formula together and read it to the parents, and you basically have 26 players plus their parents, plus assistant coaches, plus marketing, sports medicine, facilities, compliance, so on and so forth, sports information. It comes close to about 80 to 100 people, academic support services, people on campus, tutors, and it really is a team and a family affair. And I think at this time of the year, being the holidays and when the students aren't here and things slow down a little bit, you really get to look around and realize that it's Xavier on the front of the jersey. It's Xavier on the field, 11 guys, but really it's a collective effort. I'm very happy what we stand for. I'm very happy what we do for the university. I'm really happy, not with what we've done, but how we've done it and who we've done it with. And again, I always, when I'm able, take the opportunity to thank Mike Babinski and Brian Hicks for the opportunity to be at this university and lead the group and to be a head coach. It's something that doesn't go lost every week. I'm grateful for it because it took me a while to get it. So every year at this time, if I'm up here talking to you about our season, and tomorrow I'm doing my basketball interview at halftime, those are my barometers as far as if we've had a good year or not. And it's funny little things like that make you remember that it's been a great year. It's been a great story, and I think this year more than ever I really sat back and really reflected on where we started and how it's happened. But not much has really changed along the way. We are who we are, and the recipe has not changed.
Well, Andy, another great season. It's been very successful under the 3 years that you've been here, and we're really looking forward to continuing that. And again, congratulations on a fantastic year.
Thank you, and thanks for doing things like this. And I indicated we really streamed more games than we ever have this year. And the final thing I'll add is MLS scouts, college coaches, parents, alums. I'm amazed at how many people watch these games online. I've gotten calls from a couple MLS teams about the guys, and, oh, yeah, I saw this game and this game online. And alums have chimed in. And, that press conference after the Indiana game, I think one day I went on, it was over 700 views on YouTube. So we're relevant. People are watching, and people are believing, and people are complimenting, and I'm just really proud of for what we stand for and how we do.